California, a cop decides to body slam a child, handcuffed. I'll put up the picture full mass. A 17-year-old girl. I'm taking you to San Bernardino. Police officer was caught on video body slamming a 17-year-old girl. It was so horrific. The girl's father compares it to her being flipped over like a rag doll. Imagine being a father having to see that. For now, the officer's identity is being withheld by the department. We got some games for them. They like to play games. We got games too. According to the family, Erin, her friends were inside the store when they were attacked by another group of teens. That makes them victims, okay? They are victims of an attack. They claim Erin was targeted by officers despite doing nothing wrong. The brutal arrest occurred the afternoon of May 21st outside of a grocery store on the 500 block of West 2nd Street. Police responded to a report of a person trespassing at the San Bernardino Food4Less and trying to start a fight. When officers arrived, multiple teenagers in the parking lot scattered, but one of them, a girl identified only as Erin, found herself singled out. Now, I want to note something. Trespass, okay? That's the reason for the interaction. Unless there was a trespass ordered by a judge, there is no enforceable crime of trespass. You can say they're trespassing, but they're not actually trespassing until something is issued. That's an important point in the story. 3 of the cops reportedly stood guard while the 4th coward grabbed the girl and tried to handcuff the victim. The cop managed to cuff one wrist before she started resisting. That's when the cop decided to, body slam her face first into the ground. She's 17. She's 17. I know a whole lot of folk way older than 17. If you're a victim of a crime and the cop comes to handcuff you, you will likely protest being arrested. The girl suffered multiple injuries and required immediate medical care. Dislocated wrist, cuts to her chin and face that required stitches. That means it went well beyond the epidermis, outer layer, got some tissue damage, likely scarring, would be her reminder. The force of that slam was that hard to where it ripped her flesh. Footage of the violent takedown was partially obscured by a police vehicle and only captured the moment when the girl's legs crashed violently into the pavement after being lifted off her feet and flipped over like a rag doll, according to the father, Christopher Krauser. Quote, "He should not even have had his hands on her, but he picked up my child like she was a rag doll and slammed her to the ground," he said, adding, "I want justice." The mother, Miss Brownridge, said the teen continues to suffer from injuries nearly a week after the incident. And I'm sure there's psychological damage too. Quote, "I just want justice for my baby. She did not do anything. The fact that I had to drive 2 hours, they let her bleed out for 3 hours in the hospital before they stitched her up. She's a juvenile." The mother says, quote, "They gave us 3 different stories, one to me, one to my mom, one to my sister. I just want justice. That's all. This is all they're asking for, is for the system to do what it says in writing it does anyway. Her grandmother stated, quote, "I'm not okay because that grown man knocked my baby out cold. You could see the blood by the police car where it busted her chin open. It's not okay. She's a baby. She's a baby. It's not okay." The girl stated, quote, "I'm just in a lot of pain. I'm hurt everywhere. My head, my whole body. I'm not the same person I was." Erin said, "This is so sad." She's saying this. "Since that day, I've been in a lot of pain and I'm scared to go to sleep." That's post-traumatic. She explained, according to KTLA News, quote, "If I walk outside, even just taking out the trash, I'm scared because I don't know what's going to happen to me." Jordan, put a picture back up. Let me first say this. I know there's someone in that department who knows this is wrong. Please send me that damn picture of this cop and the name. Leak it to us so that we can help this family and this child obtain justice. And to the child, I want everybody to see that. See, that is a double victim by a group of immature teenagers, one, and then by a group of immature, corrupt ass cops. Dear sister, you are going to be better than okay. You're going to be stronger than you ever have been. This is going to become a catalyst for the rest of your journey. And you endured what most will not and could not, which makes you stronger than 90% of the population right now. I want you to remember that. In a statement posted to social media, the police department defended the officer's actions. On May 21st, 2025, at approximately 2 p.m., 17-year-old female was arrested in the city of San Bernardino at a grocery store in the 500 block West 2nd Street for trespassing and attempting to fight others. This arrest comes following a contact earlier that day at a nearby transit center for similar circumstances. So she was victimized twice and you all did nothing? All right, before I read the rest of the statement, her charges for trespass will be dropped because there was no trespass. There have been statements, according to the cops, made on social media alleging that the female, not the child, not the teenager, not the 17-year-old, the female, was slammed to the ground while handcuffed and that an officer claimed she fell, suggesting an attempt to deny the use of force. We would like to clarify that these claims are inaccurate. At the time of the physical encounter, the officer was attempting to place the female in handcuffs. The officer was only able to place one of her hands in cuffs when she began actively pulling away and attempting to walk off from the officer when a takedown maneuver was used. They are interested in covering their own ass. They don't care about these injuries. I hope this family has an attorney. You don't even have to get a good one for this one. You just get a decent one to advocate for you in the court system. Jackson, I thought about my daughter, man. When the father said, it looked like a rag doll in there, man, that would have broke me in half if I ever, and I hope to God I would not have reacted in a unbecoming way. But this is the kind of powerless dynamic, the feeling of powerlessness due to policing.
Absolutely. And I mean, for all intents and purposes, she could have lost her life. You hit your
Yep.
head on some concrete, you hit your head on a hard object the wrong way, and that's it. It doesn't necessarily take a ton of force, and as was pointed out, not only was she getting flipped around like a rag doll, but she's a minor. So there's really no way to defend this whatsoever, especially if we can get more pictures and information about the officer who did this. Then, as you pointed out, I think this is definitely a winnable case and one that they should push all the way through, because all they want is justice. There's no reason why a police officer should do this to anybody, let alone a kid, let alone a young lady. So, this is just another instance of types of things that happen every single day in America. And whether this was a black teenager, a white teenager, it don't matter. This is not what police officers are supposed to be about doing. And under no circumstances was this incident acceptable.
Yeah, and if his actions are righteous, why hide his name?
Mm-hmm.
Makes no sense. All right, we'll bring updates.